Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Warcraft Weekly episode number 2, and this is your weekly news show taking a look at everything that's been happening in the world of Azeroth. Today's date is the 24th of August, and we're going to be taking a look at everything that's happened in the past 7 days. In the news this week, we've had 2 new builds go live on the beta realms, one earlier on in the week and then one later on in the week, and we've had quite a few big changes, the first of which being an update to the world map in order to now incorporate Draenor into it. And at the same time, there were also some updates to some of the character selection screens. Now, Chad Nervig, aka Celestalon, has made a forum post stating that they're now happy with each class's specs abilities, and they are now moving towards bug fixing, stability, and polishing the specs in order to be ready for when the game launches. Any more mechanic changes that are going to be made to classes will be made in order to solve tuning problems. Future tweaks will be made based on feedback that players do provide, as well as gameplay experiences. They would also like to start hearing more from theory crafters, as this build has tuned DPS numbers some more, and the next build will tune healing. Any results that players do get from theory crafting will help them identify any tuning problems later on, so please do send them your results if you are a theory crafter. As well as asking for this, Celestalon has also been on an answering craze on the forums and is trying to answer as many class questions as possible, and so far we've had responses for at least half of the classes, so head on over to the beta forums if you've got class specific questions that you'd like to have answered. In the build that came later on in the week, we also got to take a look at what the new login screen would be for Warlords of Draenor, and as well as this, there was also 6,000 new voiceover files added to the game, so characters are now beginning to get their voices put in, and the game is slowly taking shape. There have been a few questions about the currency changes that are going to be coming with Warlords of Draenor, and Ian Hazakostis, aka Watcher, has made more clarifications in order to try and get rid of any confusion that there is. Honor and Conquest points will not be going away, and you will still earn them via PvP in order to buy your PvP gear. They will, however, be removing Justice and Valor points, as they feel they've now moved away from their original purpose, and given how widely available they have become from dungeons and daily quests, etc., they would rather use a more universal currency such as gold. So therefore, the rewards for completing daily random dungeons or looking for raid will be replaced with a hefty sum of gold, however the exact number has not yet been decided. A new round of free character migrations became available for the EU realms this week, and you've got until Tuesday, August the 26th in order to take advantage of them. If you're on the Outland realm, then you're able to transfer to Karazhan or Grimbatol, and if you're on Draenor, you're able to transfer to Kilrog or Wildhammer. As always, check out the frequently asked questions or the free character migrations help guide on battle.net for more information. There have been some questions over the Garrosh heroic mount drop rates in patch 6.0, which is the Warlords of Draenor pre-patch, when Siege of Orgrimmar will become Mythic difficulty, and Russ Peterson has tweeted that Garrosh is going to drop 2 mounts when 6.0 and Mythic Siege of Orgrimmar does go live. So that's the same as what it does currently drop in 25-man. We've been given more information on the Warcraft Arena Invitational World Championship, and in order to be eligible to qualify, you need to have an individual 3 vs 3 rating of at least 2500 on the live realms by September the 2nd at 8 PM Central Eastern Time. They're going to release more information to follow in the coming weeks about signing up for the tournament. Earlier on in the week, a War of the Ancients Machinima movie was released, and this is based on the Well of Eternity novel that was written by Richard A. Knack. Now, this movie has been in the making for 4 years, and it covers a lot of the lore based on the Well of Eternity novel, and it's definitely worth checking out if you are a fan of the lore of the game and want to find out more about what happened in that specific time frame within the Warcraft universe. Last week, we also took a look at one of the new dungeons that's now available for testing, and this is the Iron Docks. If you head on over to flaskup.com or our YouTube channel, we take a look at the different bosses that are within the dungeon, as well as their abilities, and also how you're going to deal with them when the fight goes to live. There were a few bugs, so we will potentially take a look at this dungeon once it has been tuned a little bit more, and once some of the bugs have been ironed out. forum member Dagster has expressed some concern on the official Warcraft forums regarding the future of Warlords of Draenor, based on what we've learnt over the past few months, and also with information that we've learnt from Gamescom. Now, Bashiok has stated that they do like to leave room for adaptation and iteration, and there is a plan of the patches and the content that we are going to be seeing, but all of the specifics are going to be kept malleable as they respond to the current climate of people playing the game. He then goes on to talk about how they embrace and develop the game based on player feedback, so keep in mind that all the feedback you do give does shape the game in some way or another, and it is all useful, and the devs are listening to your opinion. Over the past week, popular Twitch.tv streamers have been given Warlords of Draenor beta keys in order to give out to people that don't yet have access to the Warlords beta. You're able to view a full list of the streamers in our blog post on the website, which is linked in the video description below. So if you do want to be in with a chance of winning access to the Draenor beta, so to speak, then head on over, watch one of the streamers, and you could win a key. Now, in line with this giveaway, there was also a Play with the Blues event on Thursday, where you could use the new pre-made group finder in order to go and run dungeons or take part in 3v3 arena with some of your more well-known developers such as Holinka, Celestalon, or Watcher. There's been lots of feedback given from this event, and hopefully they're going to take it all on board and use it in order to balance classes or balance dungeons. In line with the tuning that happened to DPS players earlier on in the week in an earlier beta build, we've also had the first rounds of Mythic raid testing done this week, and the general consensus seems to be that the bosses are well tuned for the 680 item level that people were scaled to for testing purposes. Now, it is worth noting that on the Mythic side of things, that in patch 6.0, Mythic Siege of Orgrimmar will remain cross-realm, but when Highmaul and Blackrock Foundry goes live, they will stay as same server only raids until the next tier of raiding has been released. As well as Mythic raid testing, we've also been given access to the first wing of Highmaul looking for raid over the weekend, and this is the video that you can see in the background. And this has been open all weekend and will probably remain open until late Sunday night or tomorrow some point during the day. If you do have access to the beta, head on over and give it a try, as the fights are rather enjoyable. And finally this week, Blizzard have released a new feature for all web developers out there, and if you would like your website in order to allow people to access it using their Battle.net account, then this is good news for you. Blizzard have just released their new Battle.net OAuth 2.0 service, which will allow players to securely access your website with their Battle.net account, and also choose what types of data they want to view and share with you. For more information on this feature, then head on over to dev.battle.net in order to both find out how it works and how you can use it. If you'd like to check out some websites that are currently using it, then head on over to Wowhead, Hearthhead, Ask Mr. Robot, or SC2 Replay Stats. So that's going to wrap it up for this week's news. If you'd like to keep up to date with all of the latest World of Warcraft news, then head on over to flaskup.com. As always, thank you for watching and listening, and we'll see you next week.